Hey, this is Adventures with Alice, and we are off to Hollister Hills with our new 3-inch Toytec lift. And just for reference, here's a couple of pics of Alice. The one on the left is before I started doing a lot of the mods, and the one on the right is Alice in her Halloween costume. Got the Toytec 3-inch lift, and Truck and SUV Warehouse in Hollister did the install. I think it took them 2 days, and they charged me shop rates, so A++ there. I got the Toytec Boss 2.5 front Aluma series coilovers with the remote reservoirs. I also got the DuroBump stops and the Total Chaos upper control arms. The kit came with everything, the sway bar remounting, the reservoir mounting brackets, and the diff drop kit. So after getting the lift installed, I took it to a shakeout run to Hollister Hills off-road park. And all the driving I had done in the off-road park had been purely on the green tracks, right, the beginner tracks. So this time I was like, hey, I'm gonna take some of the blue tracks and see how they are. And I think I took the Lupine Loop, and then I think I took Gardner Gulch, and then things got a little interesting after that, because one of the things you'll find if you haven't been to the park is you get this nice map and it has the trails clearly listed out. And then you get into the park and there's just trails spearing off in every direction. So we were trying to take the Bonanza Gulch Road back, and that's where we got quote unquote lost. And we actually met another Jeep out there. And we were like, hey, do you know how to get back to the main road? And they were like, no, we're lost too. So it was kind of a little rough afternoon because some of the roads that were sparing off, I didn't know if they were triple diamonds or not. And anyway, managed to find the right road out. This is just some of the trail cam footage from Lupine. I think it's Lupine Loop, which is actually a pretty doable loop up until the end. I would probably not have taken this with my stock suspension, mostly because there were a couple pretty good, I don't know if I'd call them whoops, but lumps that maybe with the stock suspension I probably would have dragged quite a bit. Like you can see, this is one, and then there were, a couple deep pits and stuff, but really the exit out of Lupine Loop was really where I think most of the challenge was. And I think if you had a stock suspension, you probably would have damaged your rear bumper severely if you were going out this loop. But overall, Alice did great. The 3-inch suspension, super tight. It stiffens up the steering a little bit, but I didn't notice any other problems with that. A lot of other commentators have noted that the nosedive is gone after you get the 3-inch lift, and I totally agree with that. That's gone. The ride's a little stiffer, but I wouldn't necessarily say the ride is rougher. It actually rode great, and I measured pre and post, and with the install I got a full 3 inches of body lift. I was thinking about doing the lift install myself. I've done pretty much everything else on Alice, but we have 4x4 warehouse here, and they actually had space to do the lift. They're usually pretty booked up with dealer mods, so they did have some space, and they were awesome. They just charged me shop rate to do the install, and they did a really professional job because they do a lot of stuff for the dealers. They did all the paint and the touch-up, which was really nice to have them do. And like I said, it only took them 2 days, and I had the truck back, so it was a super fast turnaround. What I am doing though, and what I would recommend you do if you have a third party do the install, is after you take it out and kind of get everything settled, is to go back and check all your torque settings and all the screws and bolts and stuff that's holding everything together. And what's great is now with the 3-inch lift, I feel like Alice is pretty competent and capable for off-roading. There's a lot of stuff I did earlier in the year that I probably wouldn't have done or would have done more of had I had this lift. And taking it out in Hollister Hills down some of these trails was super fun. You know, just to kind of see, wow, am I gonna get any scraping? Am I gonna be able to clear this obstacle? And Alice did great. Now this is the part on Lupine Road that I was talking about, that if you don't have a lift and you try to get out, it could be you're probably gonna damage your bumper, because I think most of the trail you could probably do without much alteration to your vehicle. And you can see my husband there kind of imaging, and this is kind of the drop, so it really just kind of drops, and that's like solid rock, so there's really not a whole bunch you can do when you're trying to exit out of Lupine Loop, or if you're coming the other way, come back and to go down the trail. But Alice did great. I didn't have any scrapes or scratches. Totally, the truck is now, like my motorcycle's, a lot more confident than I am now. And this is just another angle of some of the carnage damage coming down Lupine. So that's it for today, and hope to see you down the trail.